Hello, everybody, tonight. Uh, Welcome to Whisper's Podcast. First, let me pay my little intro, and then we'll get started with John Wayne Gacy tonight.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me, and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps, and I'm the only one, and I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk up. My shadow's only one that walks beside me. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone up there will find me. Till then I walk alone.
Give me just a second. I'm trying to figure out how to get it back down here. Oh, do that. Okay, and we're back. Tonight, we're going to talk about John Wayne Gacy. In 1942 to 1994, he was an American serial killer. He overshadowed the guy I talked about before, Dean Corll. He was an American serial killer and SO who became one of the most notorious criminals in U.S. history between 1972 and 1978. Gacy was convicted of SA and murdering at least 33 young men and boys in Illinois. He buried most of his victims in the crawl space of his house in North Park, at a suburb of Chicago. Nickname was Gacy, became infamous, known as the Killer Clown. That's what I will always remember him as, the Killer Clown, because he was often performed as Pogo the Clown at community events and children parties. It just says you can't ever really trust anybody. Gacy would lure his victims with the promise of work, drugs, or alcohol. He often tricked them into handcuffing themselves before assaulting and killing them, typically through strangulation. Gacy was arrested in December 1978 and after the disappearance of 15-year-old Robert Piest led police to investigate him. Upon searching his property, authorities discovered the remains of numerous victims. Gacy was convicted of 33 murders and sentenced to death in 1980. He spent 14 years on death row before being executed by lethal injection on May 10th, 1994. Psychological profile that Gacy got: Gacy was often described as a psychopath with a dual personality, outwardly charming and helpful while secretly carrying out horrific crimes. His crime shocked the nation and remains a dark chapter in true crime history. Gacy's case has been the subject of numerous books and documentaries, and that is really all you can say about him, because There were so many people that he tricked. I mean, he was a JC. I mean, it was just hard to believe that he was a killer. I mean, he had a construction business. He had this, he had that. And what brought him to his last thing was that he had, I think it was whenever a boy had told his mom that he was going to see about a construction job and he never came back. Anyway, dust to dust. He got caught. I wish so many people hadn't have had to do that. Anyway, farewell, Pogo the Clown. You're not missed. No. Thank you for listening to Whispers Podcast. Y'all have a good night.